Wafa is a Syrian-American psychiatrist who was born to devout Muslim parents. She had a life-changing event when she was in medical school at the University of Aleppo in Syria. Her medical school professor was murdered right in the middle of the classroom by members of the Muslim Brotherhood to cries of Allahu Akbar. Well, you can imagine how traumatic that was, and that event led Wafa to repudiate her religious beliefs. In 1989, Wafa emigrated to the United States with her husband and her children. A few years later, she wrote an essay about what was wrong with the Muslim world and the Muslim religion, and it caught the attention of Al Jazeera. And they invited her to come and debate a Muslim imam. This was shown on Al Jazeera TV. And this was picked up by Memory, the Middle East Media Research Institute, and translated it. And now it's been seen by millions of people over the internet. You can see it on YouTube. Wafa continues to speak out about the threat of Islam on Capitol Hill to the Department of Homeland Security, Fox News, CNN, Voice of America, all around the world, and venues too numerous to mention. In 2006, she was named as one of the 100 most influential people in the world by Time magazine. And she's working right now on her book, An Escaped Prisoner, Why God is a Monster. Dr. Wafa Sultan.
Ladies and gentlemen, I always feel a need to make fun of myself, to laugh at myself in order to cover up, to repress the sadness that deeply implanted in my heart, especially when it comes to speak about women in Islam. Now I am free, but I cannot forget my niece. She was forced to marry her cousin when she was 10. He was over 40. Her marriage was valid and legalized under the Islamic Sharia because Muhammad, the Prophet of Islam, married his second wife when she was 6. He was over 50. I always remember my niece coming back to her father's house, begging her not to send her back to her husband. He would say, in Islam, it is shame for a woman to leave her husband's house. God will reward you for obeying him. At the age of 25, my niece committed suicide by setting herself on fire. She was burned to death, leaving 4 children behind her. In 2002, the Saudi religious police stopped schoolgirls from leaving a blazing building because they weren't wearing the correct Islamic dress. There were about 800 female students in the school building when this tragedy took place, and at least 15 girls were killed, according to Saudi newspaper, which I don't believe. I believe the number was much higher. Because of that, and because of many, many human tragedies that I had witnessed in the first 3 decades of my life, I have decided to fight Islam. Please pay attention to my statement. To fight Islam, not the political Islam, not the militant Islam, not the radical Islam, not the Wahhabi Islam, but Islam itself. I truly believe that the West has invented these terms for the sake of being politically correct. Growing up in Syria, I have never heard but Islam. Islam has never been misunderstood. Islam is the problem, but no one is stating the truth. No one is taking a hard look at the root of the terrorism, which is the brainwashing machine called Islam. Islam is not up to me, is not up to any Muslim man or woman. Islam is exactly what the Prophet Muhammad did and said. In order to understand Islam, you have to read the biography of Muhammad. It is very traumatizing. It is very shocking. He married his second wife when she was 6 years old. He was over 50. I just came back from France. I debated with a Muslim Pakistani woman. She was the Minister of Women in Pakistan. When I told this fact to my audience, she turned to me and she said, "It is a big lie." She was 9, not 6. It sounds like when a policeman stops you because you're driving over 100 miles per hour and you turn to him and say, "It is a big lie. I was driving 90 miles per hour, not 100 miles. She was 9, not 6. He married his second wife. She was his daughter-in-law. His son was adopted, and at that time it wasn't accepted by the pre-Islamic Arabic culture. So he turned to his followers and he said, "I was told by God that adoption is forbidden. And adoption, believe it or not, has been forbidden in the Islamic culture, just to justify his marriage of his daughter-in-law." His third wife was Safiya. She was a Jewish woman. It was well documented, well written in our school book that he attacked her tribe. He killed her father, her brother, and her husband at the same day he slept with her. That's what I call Islam. You need to know, you need to understand that Islam is the problem. I am sick and tired of people here in the West asking me to soften my message. I am sick and tired of people asking me, "Are you trying to change 1.3 billion people?" Yes, I am trying. Yes, I am. It is not a matter of I am trying. I will change him. I want you to know that the very first value I learned when I came to this great country, that you can do the impossible if you truly believe in yourself. I not only believe in myself, I believe in many million Muslim women like Nooni Darwish and Ayan Ali. And we are working hand in hand to change 1.3 billion Muslims. They have to realize that they have only 2 choices: to change or to be crushed. Please don't let your civilized way of thinking interfere with your defending your great country. Please defend your values. Please defend your freedoms. Defend the heaven you are living in. Don't take anything for granted. I don't. I enjoy every single moment of my American life. Just walking down the street by myself without being accused of being a whore is a bliss for me. Just chatting with my next door male neighbor without being accused of committing adultery is a bliss for me. Having a cup of coffee at Starbucks by myself is a bliss. Please don't take anything for granted. Please defend this beautiful country. My dream is to see my country, Syria, as free as America, not the other way around. When I was in Syria, I cried a lot. Now that I am free, I still cry, and much harder, for those women whom I left behind. My dream of one day, having all of them free, should be the dream of all humanity. Thank you so much. God bless you. God bless